Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play MGS3. This is part 5 of the Let's Play. However, the 5th time I've recorded this since I ran into quite a few technical errors with my initial recordings. So pretty much I was messing around with some of it in the editor when I was trying to edit these videos, and it got trashed and corrupted, so damn. Now I know how a lot of Let's Players feel when they get corrupted files or lose any sort of footage. So, learning experience, I suppose. So, let's move on from there. I'm kind of pissed. I had pretty good footage too, I think.
What's this?
You go to sleep, and you go to sleep. Okay, so those are the guards that are gonna come by because the boss shot up the drone from the previous video and blew it up and everything. So at this point in the game, if it's your first time, you're not gonna be armed. You're gonna have to sneak around them. And if you're gonna do that, one thing I have to tell you is be careful. There's a king cobra right there, the little slithering bastard. Where the hell is he? Oh, come on. There you go. Gotcha. Yeah, there's a king cobra inside the grass there, and the first time I played through the game, he almost bit me, so I stabbed him, and that drew in the guards. So it's pretty funny. Because I was panicking, I was like, oh shit, because the guard was coming over to investigate. He's like, what's that noise? And I was stabbing him in the leg and the crotch constantly, trying to kill him. So I eventually got him, but his buddy spotted me. So take note of that, snake, if it's your first time through. Okay, moving on here. I'm gonna save up ahead here so that we can get some of the save dialogue from paramedic.
Saving the game, Snake?
Sure am. Okay, here we go.
Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Hell yeah.
Of course. Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the
Yay.
going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
And the same thing can be said about video games. So, for any of you guys who are thinking about starting, ever, all ages and whatnot, I was considering on doing a tutorial series on just fundamentals of gaming in general. So, stick around for that. And yeah, Kojima, he loves his movies, so that's why the Metal Gear cutscenes are long, like the way they are, because he wants to mix the mediums of video games and movies together. So That's why, yeah, the cutscenes are long and why they have very cinematic shots. And I'm gonna knock this guy out. Lights out, bitch! So, there you go. First demonstration of CQC. That's the direct throwdown. And okay. Okay, one more guy around here. He's right. Oh, there he is. Let's interrogate this sucker.
Speak.
While falling, press the action button above branches.
So that would be triangle, but what the hell are these action buttons you keep talking about?
Under the rope bridge. Flatten yourself against the cliff wall and proceed.
Alright.
Freeze.
So this is called a hold up. It's the other way that you can get items from enemies and how you get most of the items from the enemies. So once you hold them up, actually before I even get to that point, you can hold enemies up while standing, but this is the safest way of doing it, because if you stand in front of somebody and you're not aiming your gun, they'll counter back. So they'll either shoot you or they'll smack you. So give me something good or else I'll blow your balls off.
Don't shoot!
Okay, chaff grenades. Grenades. I don't really use them all too often, but they do have their uses. Bug juice, so basically bug repellent. Life med is for healing you, because past Metal Gear games you just magically heal yourself by eating rations. And you're out. Go to sleep. Force is strong with this one. Okay. And I guess I'll take this approach. There we go. Turn your head into a tranquilizer pincushion. Okay, so if it's your first time through, you'll find the rain camouflage pattern in the slow area here. You don't get to keep the items from the Virtuous mission, so I don't have that shotgun that I found during the beginning of the game, which really sucks. God, love that gun. But I'll show you guys where to find it again. Okay, so the gun I'm using here is called the Easy Gun, and in order to unlock it, there are two ways. One way is just play the game on very easy, you automatically have it. The second way is if you want it on normal difficulty and higher, you have to collect all 47 animals in the game. There is a total of 48 animals in this game, however you can skip one of the animals, but I'll be showing you that the one that you can skip. It's a special animal. So if you want the gun, you gotta catch them all. Yeah, there are a couple of people who like to joke about this game and draw Pokemon parallels. So let's actually have Sigyn talk about the gun here. And oh, a reticulated python. But anyways, Sigyn.
Sounds like the Cobra unit's members' names came from the specific emotions they each carry into battle.
Emotions?
Yeah. For unbearable torment, the pain. For true oblivion, the end. For infinite rage, the fury. For absolute terror, the fear. And for unsurpassed bliss, the joy.
The joy?
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose. During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair.
So there we go. We just heard about the Sorrow, and we've been seeing him throughout the cutscenes so far. We'll learn even more about him later on. However, I'll also talk a little bit more about the Cobra. Tongue twisted. I'll talk a little bit more about the Cobras when we encounter them.
The Davy Crockett's that the boss took with her when she defected are mortars that fire nuclear warheads. They're named after Davy Crockett, the hero who died defending the Alamo in the Texan War of Independence.
Remember the Alamo?
That's right. The warheads are equivalent to between 10 and 20 tons of TNT. Every building within 150 yards of the hypocenter is completely obliterated. But the warheads the boss had with her were some kind of experimental super bomb, so they're actually even more powerful than that. I don't even want to think about what would happen if she used it again. Snake, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, I know.
So officially everybody believes that the boss fired that gun, but as we all know, it's Vulcan, and he's a real piece of shit. So we'll be dealing him later in the game. And for you guys who play Fallout, the Fat Man mini nuke launcher, that is where the concept of that weapon came from. Because the Davy Crockett... I just did it again. Yeah, that's going to be happening a lot during the LP, but the Davy Crockett is a real weapon concept and system that was developed. It was mass-produced, but never actually deployed for, well, obvious reasons. So, next call should be about the easy gun here.
Aha! You're using the easy gun.
Yeah. What is this gun anyway? I've never seen anything like it.
Of course you haven't. It's a noise-suppressed tranquilizer gun I designed especially for Fox.
A noise-suppressed tranquilizer gun? But it doesn't have a...
It doesn't need a suppressor.
What do you mean?
The noise-suppressing mechanism is built into the tranquilizer rounds themselves. The inside of the powder case contains a tiny piston. It's set up so that when the firing gas pushes the piston pushes the bullet out of the chamber. The firing gas is sealed within the chamber by the piston, preventing it from escaping outside. That's why there's no sound when it fires.
Fascinating.
While I was at it, I also fitted it with an experimental laser sight. That ought to give you a good aim even when you're shooting from the hip. And just having the easy gun equipped makes it tougher for your camo index to drop.
Wow.
And it'll help you recover your stamina.
Nice.
On top of all that, it looks just like a Liberator.
A what?
A Liberator. We supplied them to the resistance in Europe during World War II. They look alike, don't they?
Yeah.
To be honest, that's the part I had the most trouble with. Getting the feature I just mentioned to work in a gun of that size and shape wasn't easy.
But why?
Why what?
Why'd you go to all the trouble of making it look like a Liberator?
'Cause it looks cool, man. Why do you think?
So, a bit about the Liberator handgun. The serial number designation for it is the FP45. It was developed by General Motors, so GM, during World War II. Now, Sega did say that it was supplied to resistance fighters during the Second World War. However, the truth is, it didn't really pan out so well, because what the idea was to arm resistance fighters within Europe to sort of sabotage the Nazis occupying the area. However, the guns themselves, from what I understand of the guns, is they do sort of work to an extent, but they're more so like pea shooters, so they can kill people, but I don't think all too effectively. And the second problem is because in order to deliver their care packages pretty much into enemy territories at the time, they had to do it during bombing runs, but most of the strategic planners during bombing runs thought that it wasn't such a great idea because they didn't want to waste any space with their like ordnance, like substituting some of their ordnance with these guns and dropping them into enemy territory for the resistance to use. So that's pretty much the short of it. If you want to learn more about it, I'll leave a link to a channel where I get most of my gun references from. The channel is called Forgotten Weapons, and what the channel focuses on is talking about obscure guns that most people usually don't know about, but also certain platforms and systems that revolutionized the gun industry in terms of weapon designs. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the systems that were behind some more famous guns that we use today, definitely check that channel out. Okay, so one little game tip here is don't miss these thermal goggles. Definitely pick them up if it's your first time. You'll need them. And we were supposed to meet Adam in here, but where the hell is he? Well, let's take another look outside.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me! Trapped.
Get down! There is your answer. The name's Eva.
So, yes, Snake. Those are some boobs. You happy?
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
What happened to Adam?
Colonel Volgan is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were.
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military. The broom handle.
It packs quite a punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
You held it sideways and used the muzzle jump to create a horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a Chinese Type 17 pistol.
Chinese
Around
imitation.
here, even that's
So
not
the original is a Mauser C96,
Don't worry, though.
developed
One
by
I've got for
Germany.
you is American-made.
.45, huh? Incredible.
Damn it, Snake! A waste of another cigar? Really?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized. Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You had this with you, didn't you? Better take this too.
What's that?
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then.
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear. First, you'll need to head north through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area, and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse. Make your way through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight. Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more. You look disappointed. All right, then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down. What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU. Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap. Doctor's orders, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so aside from recovering your stamina and your health when you sleep, there are a few mechanics that are tied to saving the game and your save data. So whenever you save the game and you haven't touched the game in, let's just say, a week or so, whatever food that you've acquired by killing and capturing animals will start to rot. So that's one of the mechanics that is associated with that. Another is a pretty funny one. You can kill one of the Cobra members by saving the game and not touching it for a week or something like that. I'll talk into a little bit more depth about it when we get there, but you can also exploit this mechanic if you mess around with the either PlayStation 2, if you're playing on PlayStation 2, or PlayStation 3's time. So you can mess around with your clock to do this too. And you guys preserve your food that way too if you remember when you saved the game. So neat and pretty fun little mechanic. As I mean, remember, this game came out in 2004, so that's pretty crazy. And it's definitely sort of got that Kojima fourth wall breaking stuff to it. So yeah, it's definitely one of the reasons why some of us fans sort of love him, and especially with his jokes. So I'm gonna wrap this part up here for now, and the next part is gonna be a little bit more actiony. So we're gonna pick up pretty soon. So you guys know the drill on YouTube. Please share, like if you like it. If you didn't like it, then alright, fine, thumbs down. And if you're overall interested, feel free to drop a sub. So I'll catch you guys all next time.